What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys' day is doing well. Hope you guys are sharp, your mind is active, stayed focused on the things that is helping you be productive. Your mind is stayed on the Lord. I just want to get on here for a few minutes, like always, and just share my heart with you. And I want to just talk about this thing. The Lord's really been private in my heart, and I'm not talking about being sin conscious. Obviously we don't want to be sin conscious. And what is sin? Sin is just literally just falling short. It's just coming short of the glory of God. It's coming short of God's intended glory for your life. God doesn't hate the sinner. God doesn't hate the person. He hates the sin. And just because you sin, that doesn't make you a sinner. You might make a mistake. We all make mistakes, okay? But that doesn't make you a sinner. But what I want to talk about today is being conscious of habits. Just being conscious and aware of certain things that may be hindering your self-growth, your personal spiritual growth, and may be hindering you in your life, if you just notice. And sometimes they're conscious and sometimes they're subconscious. But even if they are subconscious, if we learn to yield and abide to the Spirit and let the Lord lead our life, we will make us more aware of these things as they come up. And a lot of times it's just things that we've been taught growing up, or we've learned through other people, through friends, through co-workers. We just learn these habits, and I'm not here to tell you what they are. I mean, it's different for everybody, but it may be just something like, if you have a habit of cursing a lot, well, just next time you're around those people, remind yourself to catch every word you're saying when you're speaking. Like, just be intentional. Just being intentional about what you're saying, what you're doing, and not just letting your words flow out of your mouth like they're just like it doesn't matter, because it does matter. God can use you as a tool. God can use you as a vessel to move and change their lives. But if you're acting like them, if you're cooperating like them, then it's hard for him to do that, because you're still participating in the things they're doing. You're still acting out the lifestyle that they're living. And it's not to throw a bucket over their head and say, well, you gotta act right, you gotta do this and this in order to be my friend. First of all, that's not godly friendship. Like, if you want to win souls, if you want to win someone to Christ, if you want them to see the goodness of God, you got to demonstrate that. We can never demand someone to change, or you got to stop cursing in order to be my friend. Like, who are you to say that? Like, if I want to be, if I want to compel someone to Christ, I'm just going to be me. And if they happen to see the goodness in my heart and me just being genuine out of the abundance of my heart, and they decide to change because of that, then so be it. But if they don't, I'm not responsible for their change. I'm not responsible if they change or not. So in that mindset, in that light, just remember, you want to keep a good, clean conscience. You don't want to think evil towards people. You don't want to you don't want to put people under these labels. Well, this person's such and such, or this person's such and such, just because they do certain things. Or, if they do drugs, you might say they're a druggie. That's not godly. That's not a godly example. Okay, that's not compelling them to Christ. You can't compel them to Christ if you keep calling them something else. Now, God may call you to, okay, stay away from them, but that doesn't mean we're gonna keep calling them a dirtbag. We're not gonna keep calling them a sinner. Obviously, we want them to come to Christ. So even if you do have to distance yourself from them, that's fine, but don't sling mud. Don't throw rocks at them. But at the same time, if you're in them situations and you're around those people, you just set the higher example. If they say, well, hey, Jonathan, well, you want to do this or you want to do that? No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. That's all you got to say. You don't have to make this big, well, no, I'm a Christian. I don't do that. Like, that's not needed. You know what I mean? You don't need to say all that. That just doesn't need to be said. Your fruit, out of the abundance of your heart, out of the words you speak, and the lifestyle you live, that should be enough reason for them to see that you're a Christian. You should never have to go say, well, I'm a Christian. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't curse. I don't do these things. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. I'm so holy. I'm so, look at me. It's just not necessary. It's like the Pharisees and the religious leaders. They wanted to make themselves look holier than thou. That they couldn't mingle with the other the other people. They couldn't because they were trying to. They were just trying to put on an act. Okay, they're stage players. What it is. They act one way in public, but they're another way behind closed doors. And I talked about that before. Don't be double-minded. Don't be fake. Just be real. If you're a Christian, just be a Christian. You don't have to say, hey, I'm a Christian. Now if you meet another Christian and they believe in God, you could say that. But if people are acting like the world and they're doing worldly things, yes, we don't participate in those things. Yes, we are set apart. But we don't have to point them out. We don't have to condemn them to hell because they're doing those things. Does that make sense? Like, you just don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Jesus didn't do that. Jesus was a friend of sinners. I said all that just to say this. Just be in conscience and aware of habits that you may have when you're around those people. And you still may want to be their friends. You still want to, you still want them to be a part of your life because you're seeing, maybe you're seeing some growth in them from them being around you, but you also want to make sure you keep yourself postured. You keep yourself postured in a way where you're still able to hear from God, and that stuff's not able to get in you. And not everybody's able to do this. If you're still growing in Christ and you're still developing yourself in the Lord, and you're still trying to get rid of some of these habits that they're still currently doing, and it may not be that season for you. You may just have to, separate yourself. But that doesn't mean you be rude or you be mean or ugly. You just have to, distance yourself for a season, and and that doesn't mean like if you see them in public, if you see them in the marketplace, I'm going to totally ignore them. No, of course not. You're still going to say hey, you're still going to be kind to them, but we don't ignore people. We don't intentionally go out of our way to be with them. If that makes sense. If you got to see people at work. I'm not saying like, hey, stay away from work. I'm not gonna go to that job because it's toxic. No, that's not godly. Okay, God wants us to set good examples in the places that we're in, that God puts us in. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna meet people along your way, along your day to day. You're gonna run into people that need Jesus, that need Christ. So God doesn't want you just to hang out with Christians all day long. That's not helping you any. It's not. God's going to put you in places that people need Jesus. Yeah, He's going to put you around people that are just not cooperating. They're not acting the way they should act. Because that's where we need to be, to compel them to Christ. And it's not by our good talk. It's not by us just sharing, oh, you need Jesus. You might have to say that at some point, but it's just how you present yourself, how you're carrying yourself. You're the fruit out of the abundance of your heart, your language, how you're speaking around them. they will see that you're different. You don't need to preach yourself. You don't need to say, well, I changed, Jesus did this. And, there's a time and place for that. You may need to share your testimony with them. That's good. But you don't have to do that to try to get them to, it's not like we're not selling the gospel, okay? We're demonstrating the gospel. We're wearing the gospel. We put on the Lord Jesus Christ. It's not for sale, okay? The gospel isn't for sale. It's free. It's free. It wasn't free for, Jesus paid the ultimate price, obviously. But who are we to try to resell something that's already been given freely, right? And so that's what the religious people were trying to do. They was just, they were just trying to live by the law. They were trying to perform the law and condemn people and say you gotta do it right. But they weren't right in their own hearts. They didn't get it all right in their own hearts. They were doing things behind closed doors. So just want to help you be aware and just be conscious of, I want to be, and all this comes from the intimate secret place, okay? You have to have a relationship. You have to stay prayed up, and that doesn't mean you pray constantly all day long. No, it just means you have to go to this place where you're vulnerable with Jesus. He knows your heart. He knows your secrets. There ain't nothing you're getting past him. He knows everything there is about you. You might as well just confess it to him. Lord, I have this issue. Make your request known. Whatever it is you want changed in your life, make your request known. He will reveal it to you. He will reveal those things to you that hey, you should probably change. You should probably do this different. You should probably... And it won't be like, well, you got to do this. It'll be more like an empowerment. I get to do this. And now you're able to receive more from him, posture yourself better in public, communicate effectively with people. And a lot of times communication, just part of it is just listening to people's needs. What do they really need? What do they really want? And you don't have to say a whole lot. Sometimes just a couple words can change someone's life. Just the smallest things will change someone's life today. Smallest things. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, guys. Be blessed, be safe, and I love you. See you on the next video. Peace.